Okay,
Yes.
so check this out. You ready? Because this is something I want to expose. Maybe this is maybe a blind spot, but if you have control over what you can control, you're batting 1,000. When you put the control in the hands of someone else and they don't bat 1,000, you don't know what to do. I mean, you're such
That's
a
where
high.
what I struggle with.
What is happening, good people? Here with a longtime friend, Tony, with Elite Painting and Pressure Washing. 28 years in the business.
Yeah. 28.
On
Oh, this is our 29th. Yeah.
29th year in the business.
Yeah. It goes
You've,
by
you've, you've
fast.
been, you've been following the 31 days of value.
Yeah.
Dude, check this out. 31 days.
I love it.
I got the
I,
book out. How about
I
that?
can't wait to get my copy, and hopefully it's a signed copy.
Well, I'd have to meet with you in person to get you one until I get a new batch printed. So I'm working on that. I got to get you a copy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, I will. I'll take care of you, man.
Yeah. I
But
found a
listen,
lot of
man.
value in it. I listened. I got hooked after day 10.
Okay. That's when it kicked in, huh?
Yeah. I wanted to see
Awesome.
if you were going to follow through, if you were going to get to all 31 days, and you did.
Yeah, man. I think you're someone that can appreciate consistency.
Yeah.
How many days now tell me about let's start there. How many days have you ran 1 mile?
So I have this consecutive run streak where I started on November 4th, 2019. So this November I'll have completed 5 full years, and I'll start my 6th year on in November. So it's like 2,150 days right now.
Of a
So it's at
of a
least
mile
1 mile
every single day.
outside every day, no
Outside.
matter what.
Rain, sleet,
Rain,
snow.
snow, heat, traveling. If I'm traveling to Europe, I get up an hour before my family gets up and I get out there and run. You know, I ran through COVID. I've run through all types of aches and pains, and whatever's going on in your life, I'm out there running at least 1 mile. It's a minimum of 1 mile.
I love that. And what's that do for you, man?
I just thought I'd like to connect and talk to you about my business and pick your brain about what I struggle with is leadership. And you know what, honestly, and give back to some other people who are in the struggle and who are fighting the good fight every single day. Because sometimes it seems like it's not worth it. One of the 31 days of value, there was something you said, and it was like, geez, Tanner's talking to me. How did he know? Wait a minute, that's me. It's just about giving up, and no matter where you're at, whether it's day 1 or day, year 29, it there are days where you're like, is it really worth it? I want to shut my phone off today. But it is worth it. It's only paint. No one's gonna die. Tomorrow the sun's gonna rise, and you're gonna forget about what happened yesterday, and you're gonna plug along tomorrow. Because we really have no other choice. This is what it
No
is.
choice. It is what it is, man. And
Yeah.
I think I started that because I started seeing some areas where I was man, I kind of was just getting thinking, man. I was just kind of like, man, is it worth it? Even coach people, right? I mean,
Mm,
sometimes the mindset just is like, man, like I'm not seeing a reward. I'm not seeing instant gratification,
yeah.
and it's like the self discipline I've built over the years has helped me know better to know
Yeah.
that the greatest way through that sort of mindset and that downward momentum is through it, man. So
Yeah.
that's why I created the 31 days of value was really
Yeah.
just for me. It was so I could be like, you know what? You're saying in your head that it's not worth coaching, even though you've impacted a bunch of people and you help people and there's people that count on you for these messages. And now you're
Yeah.
gonna do 31 of them straight. And we're gonna get that out of the way. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Well, let's get the focus back to you, man. I want to obviously business breakthrough. You're here. Tell me a little bit about something that's going really well in the business, and then give me an area of your business where you feel like you need a little A little push, a boost, change in perspective.
Well, the good aspects is we're killing it. We're going to have a record year. Last year was a record year, and we're outpacing last year. We're going to hit, if all goes well, we're going to hit 2 million, and that was my goal this year was to hit 2 million.
Congrats.
And it's not easy. It's you
No,
got to plug away every single day.
that
And guess
dude,
what? We all
two
start on
million in the
January
painting
1st.
business
What
is
you
it,
say?
2 million in the painting business is a result of systems
Yeah,
and
yeah.
congrats because it's not
Thank
easy
you.
to do.
It is not, because there's a lot of variables. There's customer expectations, employee expectations, vendors. There's just so many moving parts. It's just paint. Putting paint on the wall is the easy part. That
It
really is
is
the easy part. Everything that happens before and after is the real hard part. The estimate,
100%.
well, backing up a step, getting the lead, going on the sales call, convincing the homeowner to use you, scheduling it. All that stuff has to happen before one can is opened and one drop of paint goes on the wall. All
Make
that has to happen. And that's the hard part. The easy part is putting the paint on the walls. Now, I haven't painted so my daughter's 23, and shortly after she was born, I have not painted on the job. So it's almost 23 years. And
amazing.
real quick, I know we don't have a lot of time, but real quick, what led up to that was, and you and anyone listening to this will resonate. I took some time off to be with my wife, my newborn, and I realized real quickly that if I wasn't putting paint on the walls, there was no money coming into my family. I knew at that moment I had to do something different. I couldn't continue to put paint on the walls and run it wasn't a real business. I had a job, and I had a dummy for a boss. So I decided I had to do something different. And 23 years later, I haven't painted, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just chose that I can't paint and do estimates and run a business and hire and do all these other things while you're putting paint on the walls 8 hours a day.
Well,
Uh,
but you kind of alluded to there's nothing wrong with that, and I think, man, that needs to be. I think we don't want to offend anyone, but there is
yeah,
something wrong with that. There's a big problem if you're painting. If
right.
if you like
There,
painting, that we need to get rid of the emotional attachment
yeah,
between you and the painting. Like, go paint your grandmom's house on the
right.
weekends if you love it that much, or do it for
No,
charity.
you're a
This is
thousand percent
survival
right.
time, brother.
When you're
I
putting paint on the walls, you're a painter. You're a
don't care how much you
$20 an
like it.
hour painter.
It's great.
That's it.
You, you're great, but if you're painting, then no one's growing the business.
Right. Right.
You know.
So sales are going great. I, get more calls than I need.
Okay.
And like I said, we're gonna hit a record this year. I have a project manager. So I do all the sales, all the marketing. And as soon as I use drip jobs, which that changed our business. I was
Love
using
that.
something else before, but drip jobs was just an all-in-one, and I tell people about it. It's just all the time. It's a game changer. When I get home at 4 or 5 o'clock, I do nothing because everything else is taken care of. All the follow-ups, all the reminders, all the asking for reviews, all that stuff is done. It's all automatic. I don't worry about any of that stuff anymore. Um, so I do all the sales. I have a project manager. Once someone clicks approve, that's where my involvement ends and his begins.
Love that.
And his job, there's a big description in his job, but it boils down to bring the job in on time and on budget with a 5-star review,
Yep.
and come back with a
Those are the
check
core
and a 5-star review,
those are
and
the
the
core
job was a
KPIs.
success. What do you say?
Those are the core KPIs. I love those.
Those are that's wrapped, in a nutshell, that's really what it is. If
Okay.
you get a 5-star review, you bring the job in on time, then what else can I ask for?
Right. That's a good.
So
I
in a
love that.
nutshell, that's what his job is. And then we just rinse and repeat. We're
Love.
going to do like 300 jobs this year,
Yep.
and maybe not 300, maybe, our average job size is like 6,500, 7,000. So, we do a lot of jobs. You just rinse and repeat. That's all it is. And, if you don't have systems and it's like, I tell people all the time, it's like going to McDonald's. Why? When you go to McDonald's in Ireland, it's the same as going to the McDonald's in New York City. If I blindfolded you and brought you into this McDonald's, you wouldn't know where you were. Why? Because they have systems and they all do things the same exact way.
You
and they
ready for
just rinse and repeat.
a good let me add on to that, right? So how many crews you got out in the field?
In the busy season 4, and then we go down to like 2
Right.
in December,
So
January.
we look at it like, okay, well, your business needs to be a franchise, but what the way we should be looking at it is each crew is like its own location, right?
Yeah,
So when we look deeper, if we go to each one of those crews jobs, how consistent, how good does the work environment look? Is
yeah,
all the prep the same? Is
yeah,
everyone did the customer get the same type of initial walkthrough? Did they get the same type of walk around at the end? That's kind of the way we need to be looking at it because it's
yeah,
really hard. When you go to McDonald's, it's easy, man. They can make their franchise into this little box. All they're doing is working inside of this one physical
yeah,
location over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I mean, I don't know if you watched the movie with the Ray Kroc movie. Did you get
yeah. I
did you
love
get
that
any
movie.
dude, one of the coolest scenes was like how there was so much disorder in the way that they were moving the burgers. And he's like looking at it and he's like, you know what? Why don't we move this guy here and then create this system of flow within this kitchen, right?
Yeah,
Dude, one of our challenges is every house is different.
yeah.
Every
Every job
customer
is
is
different.
different. Every job's different, right? So I love it, man. I think the principles are there. So tell me an area, that you're struggling in.
So I struggle with leadership, and it's something that I am aware of. It's something that I know I need to be better at. It's something I know that holds me back, and it's something I'm working on every single day. It's not something where I'm like, it's my way or the highway. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. It's my way. No, I know I need to be a better leader because without good leadership, you have nothing. You
Well,
could have
leader
even have the best SOPs without good leadership. Then
Sure.
and it all starts at the top.
So why do you feel like you don't have you're not being a good leader? Tell me where that stems from?
There's a lot of pressure on me to make stuff happen every day, every single
Self-imposed
day,
or from other people?
just from everyone. Anyone, everyone in my life, whether it's keeping a roof over my family's head,
Sure.
making sure all these families have work 52 weeks out of the year, making sure customers are happy, making sure all the bills are paid. I mean, I can go on and on and on. There's a million things that
Right.
I'm responsible for.
Okay.
So those are the things that. So I'm always under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's really, and it's
A
yeah,
businessman, it's we're molded through pressure, right? So
yeah.
pressure, you're feeling pressure and you're saying to yourself, "Well, I'm feeling this pressure and I'm kind of feeling like do you feel like you can't handle the pressure or do you feel like it's just been so long that you feel like the pressure valve's gonna pop?"
More like the pressure valve's gonna pop because I've been dealing with it for, 28, 29 years.
Okay.
Um, but again, at the end of the day, it's just paint. No one and I gotta remind myself of that all the time, that it's just paint. No one's gonna die. No one is being
Okay.
hospitalized. It's just paint. And we can
Okay.
always
So
repaint that, or we could.
I can resonate with you. I think, one thing that pressure might be is expectations, keeping a high
Yeah.
standard to that once
Mm,
a review could come, or maybe you're not as good as you think you are, and that creates a scarcity thinking,
all that.
right? Um, and we all feel it just simply because, dude, we wake up and we have to hunt every single day for
Yep.
our kill. And that creates that level of thinking. It makes us feel like we're not in control simply because unless you have large contracts that are spanning out 3, 4 months at a time, which you probably don't, because most people don't. Generally speaking, I mean, we're as good as our last performance. You know
Our
what I'm
last
saying?
sale.
Our last sale, our last job, our last performance, right? So, the umbrella of leadership starts with you, and it sounds like you do a good job of leading yourself. Like, I think if we're coaching leadership, man, the first thing, I mean, we can't lead people unless we lead ourselves, and you're
That's
such a
true.
unique case, man. You wake up every day, you say, "You know what? There's not many things I can control, but the one thing I can control is getting this mile done every single
Hmm.
day." And I love it because I like to run, you know that. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like I know what that is. First of all, I know how hard that is to put the shoes on every morning.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
These are just
Putting
small
on the
daily
shoes and getting out there is the hard part.
putting on the shoes, getting out. Once you're out there, you're like, "Yes,
Yeah.
like did it, check the box."
Yeah.
Now it's automatic, you know,
Yeah.
but
And you want to hear something crazier? My mile, 98% of the time is at 3:30 in the morning.
Unbelievable.
I get up at 3:15. I get to the gym at like 3:40. I run my mile and then I do a CrossFit
Okay,
class.
so check this out. You ready? Because this is something I want to expose. Maybe this is maybe a blind spot, but if you have control over what you can control, you're batting 1,000. When you put the control in the hands of someone else and they don't bat 1,000, you don't know what to do. I mean, you're such
That's
a
where I
high.
lo- that's where I what I struggle with.
Right. So in the same way, me and you just told those painters to stop doing what they love, even though their income producing asset is this, right? Well, it's very hard for them to detach from that because that's their identity.
Yeah.
Over the last 23 years, your identity became the owner operator. And in the same way, it'd be the same conversation I'd have with someone that was a painter. I'd say, what's next? You don't know what's next,
Yeah.
do you?
As far as my life,
No, business.
I mean, what's next is just repeating today.
How
You
do you
know,
feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
But
okay with it because it got
yeah,
me here.
but do you understand that the biggest problem that you have right now is leadership, which means there's problems that are surfacing to the
Oh
top
yeah. Hmm.
that it's too hard for you to get to the root of those problems because the company's getting big and those roots are too hard to to focus on because you have your
Yeah.
own responsibilities throughout the day. What are your
Well, yeah.
responsibilities throughout the day as a
And
business
I
owner?
have to rely on other painters, the painters who work for me, the project manager, the vendors, and I can't expect them. And I have a mentor. We talk about this all the time, and he says you can't expect them to be like you. They're not gonna feel the same way about this business as you do. They're not gonna
No
be
one
at
no
your
one will
level.
no one will ever care about your business more than you. It's not their job to. But let me
Yeah,
ask you this. What does your day-to-day look like? Like, what do you do in the business every day?
I do all the estimates.
Okay. So do you
Eh,
see how that in and of itself takes away from your ability to lead?
Какие-то наработки
Do
критически
you
слетают,
understand that,
и
like,
терапия
for you to do
нужна.
all the
Вот,
estimates for a
но
$2
вот так вот
million
не
company at a
рассказывали, вы мне
50%
не
closing
радуете как
ratio, which
раз
you don't
по
have, probably
первому.
closer to
Вот, но вот так вот
at
не
50, you're doing
рассказывали, вы
50?
мне не радуете
Okay.
как раз. Вот, дарно вам за
I can't
это.
look at that stuff.
Вы сказали, что вот
Without
эти
permission, unless you'd
срывы,
ask permission,
вот,
you
дарно
could
вам
go.
за это.
Okay. But
Вы
listen, and
сказали,
kudos to
что
you. That means
вот эти
that you're really
срывы.
good at sales, which it makes sense. But I didn't mean that as if you couldn't achieve that. I'm saying that's incredibly rare to hit 50% unless you're either an amazing salesperson, which in this case you probably are, or you're pricing pretty low, which I know you're not. So
no, I'm not. I lose jobs.
so
The other
so let's look at
50% is
this.
overpriced.
Let's look at this,
Um,
Tony.
I have a
600.
lot of repeat customers.
Okay, even better. So 600 estimates to hit 300 jobs then, right?
Yeah,
Generally speaking, 600 estimates over the course of the year, okay? So you're doing 2 to 4 estimates a day in the work
yeah,
week, okay?
yep.
You're driving all over town, okay? Now, again, at some point this has become your identity. Now, could you imagine a world where you hand off the estimates to someone else?
I would love to,
You
and
would
I'm
love to,
getting to a
but you
point where I
can't.
need to.
Why can't you do that right now?
I was thinking about that this morning, and it was something you said. No one can do this like me. I'm the only one who can do this, which is not true. There are people doing it.
There are people doing it, but you got to understand, we're talking about identity here. This is ingrained in you. You're
Yeah,
routine based. Wake up at freaking 3:30 in the morning.
yeah,
Like, I think there's an element of what would I do if I weren't doing these estimates?
yeah. Well,
Is
I
there?
I, I do worry about that because I'm 56 and I'm not going to do this forever. I do have a plan at some point, and what am I going to do with myself? I don't know anything else.
Right. So that's where the leadership development begins because leadership is looking at the big picture and you're a father, right?
Yeah,
When your
yeah,
kid was first learning to walk, you'd hover right behind them and they tip and the same thing happened when they started to ride their bike, right? That's leadership, man. It's this all day long.
mm,
It's no, I've been there. I've done this. I've perfected this. I know how you're supposed to walk. I've done this. I've perfected this. I know how you're supposed to estimate. I know I know how you're supposed to do this. I know how you're supposed to do this. I got you. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. And then eventually they turn around and say, "Dad, I got it."
mm,
And you need to get to the point where you get a couple of "Dad, I got" I got it in your business.
Yeah.
And you don't have the time because
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
you're too busy in the estimates.
Yeah. There are days I have 7 estimates, and it's
At
just
some point, you need to
one to one to one.
let your brand do some work. Let
Yeah.
your brand speak for itself. Now, for you to commission someone to go do those estimates, that's a big responsibility. Do you have anyone in mind?
Well, I think maybe at some point I have a project manager, a new project manager over the last 5 months, and he's doing well, and I'm mentoring him in that job. I could see him one day doing sales.
Sure.
I think he could.
Do you feel like you're at a crossroads now, or do you feel like this is no big deal?
Not yet, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, because
I'm getting to.
someday and one day don't usually come to fruition.
Yeah.
It's just
No, you're
that
right.
they don't. It's what we tell ourselves that, well, someday we'll run that mile,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
someday we'll get fit. And what you need to understand is that you need to trust in your ability to delegate things that are uncomfortable. And it's not a matter of what you'll gain in terms of revenue, or what you'll lose in terms of potential revenue. It's, do you really know how to train someone to estimate in your business? Because that, to me, is a broken system. That means
Yeah.
that
No.
if Tony, if you get hurt or you get sick, like, dude, you can't even take a vacation.
Yeah. Well,
What do
that
you
I don't
do?
have a problem with. I travel a lot,
Well, what
and
do you do if you
everything's when
take
I
a
get back,
vacation? You
everything's
just
fine.
push all the estimates to the
I
following
do.
week, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's not really a vacation.
Yeah.
That's more of a, I'm just going to borrow time from next week for this week.
Yeah.
So, you know all this stuff.
Yeah.
Tony, to be honest with you, man, you've built something really great. And I think
I
it's something
appreciate that.
you have, but like, I don't think you've really got a chance to experience like the fruits of that labor, man.
Not yet. No, because I'm in the middle of battle. I'm in the thick of it.
But you got to
So
realize in the same breath, like, check this out. And I love having this conversation with you. I admire you. You know that. I mean,
yeah,
I'll
I
be honest
appreciate it.
with you. Like,
I'm a big fan of yours
so,
too.
so check this out, man. For 5 years, I wanted to write a book. Okay.
Yeah.
I wrote this book in 2 weeks. It was just a matter of intent. And it was a matter of unrelenting intent. It's the same thing that gave birth to Drip Jobs. Do you know how many people want to start a software company?
Hmm.
I didn't know how to code, but it was a matter of
Yeah.
intent because the why was greater than the cost. Is the why right now greater than the cost for you? Do you really want that business that you can stand on? Do you really want to be in the operations as a, hey, I got you type of guy, or hey, let's let's change this, let's tweak this, let's turn this knob here, rather than, hold on, I'm busy. Hold on, I'm busy. Hold on, I'm busy. Hey, I got to call you back. I got to call you back. Hey, I'll fly over there now. That's
Mhm.
where the stress is coming from.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to do your job as an estimator, which is, to be honest with you, man, it's like $100 an hour task. When
Yeah.
you're a business owner, should be creating different systems that are $2,000 an hour responsibility
Yeah.
of how to optimize your operation so you can package it up in a way that you can sell it in the next 5 years.
Well,
And
that's the
maybe,
intent, is to
well,
sell this.
but you got to understand that there's two things that can happen. Either you sell it on your terms, or you have to sell it on someone else's terms.
Yeah.
Do we know what the future holds? No. Could there be a health scare? Could there be something going on in your life? We don't know. But we need to dig the well now. You
Mm.
are so exposed right now. It's not even funny.
No, I know. I agree with
At
you.
$2 million in revenue. My biggest concern for you, and honestly, brother, like, if you've listened to my podcast.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for this session here?
Nothing.
Nothing. I don't care if we never talk again, to
Yeah.
be honest. I'd rather be the voice that you need to hear for someone that has no vested interest. This is how I've operated my relationships. Some people never talk to me again. Some people
Mm.
say, hey, that was the best advice I ever got. Dude, you're playing so small and you've been blessed so much. And there's someone out there that needs the role that you're currently occupying, because you
Yeah.
truly believe that if you don't do the estimates, you won't make more money. Is it money or is it impact? These are the decisions that we grapple every single day. Do we
Yeah.
want to make more money, or do we want to achieve a greater impact?
Yeah.
And
It's
when we
for me, it's not about the money. It's about the impact and
good,
leaving this going on after me.
Tony, it's not as clear always as money or impact. There's layers to that, as in
Yeah.
money usually leans towards scarcity of what I'm going to lose
Yeah.
rather than what I'm going to gain. I can clearly identify you're not someone that's money hungry and just doing it for money.
Yeah.
However, you're stopping yourself from hitting another level in your life, in whatever that could mean, whether it's more time or even being more present with the people you love,
Yeah.
or giving yourself some much needed rest, whatever that is for you in your life. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now that when you grapple with the decision of, do I go all in with an estimator or salesperson, or do I keep delaying it?
Mm.
And that's your choice when you wake up every single day. You literally just said you woke up today and thought about it. I guarantee you're thinking about this way more than you're
Yeah,
saying.
no, you're right. I had no idea this was gonna go in that direction, but you're 100% right. I mean, I I know that's what I need. The next hire is a salesperson.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. One of two things are going to happen. And it's this is first of all, this is unknown territory for you. So you and I both know right now you have no leverage toward actually fulfilling this big decision and actually going all in on it with massive
Yeah,
intensity. Like,
I'd be
we're
winging
talking
it.
about, huh?
I'd be winging it.
You'd be winging it. You'd be like, yeah, I'll do it someday. And here's the hard part. The hard part is you've been doing something the same way for 20 years. You have routines built in around it. Dude, this thing's like a freaking tumor in your life.
Yeah,
You just let's look at it like that, because the reality of the situation is not only do you not know what to do, you don't have a roadmap of how to do it. You're risking your business because you're essentially saying that you're going to trust someone with the revenue responsibility of a $2 million operation that
yeah.
families are counting on. So how are we really going to approach this?
I don't have the slightest.
Okay. So right then and there, I know, to be honest with you, this has been a blind spot for so long that you just haven't faced yet. And you and
No.
I both know whenever we want change, just like the 31 days of value,
Yeah.
right? You have to hit it with so much intensity,
Yeah.
so much passion, so much energy that you break through, and you
Mm.
are okay with understanding that you're going to fail, you're going to learn, but you are not going to stop until you get the result that you want.
Yeah.
This is the essence of leadership in and of itself, is
Yeah.
first leading oneself into unknown territory and then telling everybody, come on, it's okay. We're good here. Right?
Mm.
Isn't that leadership?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe your definition of leadership was before this, I'm not being a good leader to the people around me. To be honest with you, maybe you're portraying that because you're not confident in your ability to lead in this area that's been pretty much haunting you for quite some time now.
Yeah. Yep.
So
100%.
so you don't need to do this gargantuan thing here. You need to get the ad out today and you need to interview people. Make it real. Do you
Yeah.
need to hire them? No. You don't need to hire them, but you need to
Right.
take the first step. You need to put the shoes
Yeah.
on, Tony. In
Yeah.
2019, you put the shoes on.
Yeah.
You didn't freaking run 10 miles that day.
Yeah.
You need to get the hiring ad out. You need to
Yeah.
interview salespeople. And God will align your intent with the outcome, but it only happens when you meet him halfway.
Yeah.
Doesn't that show up everywhere in our life?
It does.
So,
And I was just thinking, the saying, when's the best time to plant a tree? When was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. Well, when's the next best time? Right now.
yeah, but you know what? People don't want to plant the tree now because they want the freaking tree. And they're like, you know
Yeah.
what? It's not worth
That-
me.
Yeah, it doesn't
planting
work
the tree.
that way.
But then 2 months go by and you're like, you know what? If I would have planted the tree 2 months ago,
Yeah.
maybe I'd have a little sapling.
I got to make the first step. Like you said, create an ad and at least start some conversations.
I think so, man. I think at this
Yeah.
point in your life, this tree, we don't know what is going to happen in a year from now. But you know what? You'd be way better off if you let a salesperson come in part-time, you take your repeat customers, and you slowly integrate them into your system.
Mm. And the next thing I got to do, which would help with that, and I know this, I'm not using the drip jobs. What's that? What's it called? The
The
not
request form,
no, not job costing. What's the other add-on?
production rates.
Production rate.
Okay.
That is essential. I'm not using it. And because
Tony,
I'm afraid of
listen,
something new.
how long have you been in business?
29 years.
Okay. Do customers really care about price?
Some do, yeah.
Some do, but on the most part, when you're in there selling, are they worried about the numbers, or are they looking at you saying, you know what, I'm bought into you. I'm going to go with
Oh,
you.
well, I mean, it all starts with
Right.
me.
So don't think that pricing
Mm.
is what you need to get over this hump right now. Just get somebody in the house advocating for your business, and you'll figure that out later. Okay. Because I just don't want there to be any hurdles stopping you from actually going all in, making the hire, and everything else will fall into place.
It always does.
It always does, because there's no way, like, forget it. Forget production rates right now. Just teach
Yeah.
them how you estimate. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll refine it.
So I already went through this. I was doing everything, sales and managing the jobs. I wasn't doing 2 million. I might have been at 1 million.
Okay.
And I was doing all the project managing, and doing all the sales and marketing.
Right.
And hiring a project manager was hard. I'm going to allow someone to do that. How are they going to run the job like me, treat the customer like me? I cannot live without a project manager. I won't live without a project manager.
Right. But here's what's also happening. You being the estimator, you are incredibly responsive throughout the day. Okay. Let me ask you this. What's your admin situation look like?
Well, I have a remote office who answers our phones and books all the calls. So that's it. It's just it. What do you say?
Is that it?
That's it.
Tony, that's another hole. You need a problem solver on the phone. Have you ever called an electric company or an HVAC company?
Yeah.
Dude, the people they have on the phone can answer questions.
Yeah.
Can't they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Generally speaking, they have technical expertise and knowledge. They can complete the sale. They can go into the system and make an adjustment and send it to you for a deposit. They can take deposits. They can send invoices. They can schedule things. This is an area as well that's causing you stress.
It is. Yeah.
You have some remote office that doesn't care who you are or what it is. They just answer the phone and put in an appointment. That's it. You need an office admin. I don't know how you survive this long without one.
I was actually your last podcast talked about an admin, and not a remote admin in Thailand, a local, someone here in the States.
Dude, she's $15 an hour. She's in another state. She's fantastic. She's a stay-at-home mother. She works hard. I don't even recognize. She has so much autonomy in my business, but you know what she does? She's handling all the customer calls. She's relaying information to us in Slack if there's something that she needs input on, right? She's updating us if there's an issue. She's putting in the colors into the work order.
I do all that.
Bro, I don't talk to customers. I can't mentally. I don't want to.
I am 100% there with you.
But you can't, because you're the one who sold it. You have the knowledge. If you don't relay that knowledge, then people have more questions about, was this included? Was this included? Did you promise this? Dude, that in and of itself, once you remove yourself from the estimate, okay, you're going to feel so much better.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself this gift, man. You'll never have another opportunity.
Yeah, you're right.
You need an office admin and you need an estimator or salesperson. Honestly, brother, you should put both ads out. You should.
Yeah.
Put both ads out, man. Spend the time. Do it. Get these hires out of the way. You're never going to feel the emotional intensity to do something like that greater than you feel it right now.
Yeah. And it's not about the money. I would gladly pay someone to take that off my plate.
You have to understand that we know that you're a $2 million business, but the thing is the time that you're going to have to invest in training these individuals is usually the blocker. But you got to realize that the only way through it is through it.
Yeah.
You just have to mentally say, here's my mentality. Okay, if I hire a salesperson, there's a 50% chance he won't work out. So I better be really good at vetting whoever it is that I bring on my team. That's number one. If he does work out, I have to go in with so much intensity, and this is going to be an exhausting training period for you. exhausting. He's not going to know all the variables. He's not going to know how to handle every question. But what you want to look for is you want to leverage someone with in-home sales experience, because if you don't have to teach the etiquette of in-home sales, well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a 100% must. He could have sold solar. He could have sold roofing. He could have sold remodeling, anything. So this way you don't have to teach the etiquette of in-home sales. But what you do need to teach is how to handle the painting side, the questions of the painting business. You might run into somebody who's owned a painting business or who has worked for a painting business. You don't know because you're not in the game.
Yeah.
Dude, you and I both know right now, Tony, if I said, I'm done, I want to work for you, would you hire me as a salesperson?
You?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Because you're awesome. You know what you're doing.
I come with the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, you instantly, you would hire me today. You'd hire me so fast. You'd probably buy my plane ticket and put me up in a hotel.
I'd fly you and your family to New Jersey.
100%, right? And the reason is because in your brain, you don't have to train me.
Right.
So we can't assume that you're just going to get people that need all this training. You might be able to leverage someone that's got in-home experience and painting experience. You don't know, but you're not in the game. So you're not putting out the ads. You're not really intently reviewing. Dude, you could have had an estimator ad running all month. You know how much it would have cost you? $150. And you could have just been reviewing applicants that have come in, and you might have hit the lottery on someone that used to work for CertaPro that doesn't want to sell for them anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. I did get an application when I had a project manager listing. He was a salesperson for CertaPro. So yeah, they're out there.
He's out calling.
Yeah, I still have his resume. I will call him.
Call him today.
Yeah.
Will you call him today?
I will.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say, hey, I'm looking at your resume. It's pretty impressive. Would you like to grab a cup of coffee and see if this goes somewhere?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's it, man. That's it. But the thing is just doing it and being intent, because you have to anchor all this sludge you're going to go through. You have to anchor it with your why. And your why needs to be, what is that really going to give you? And it's not tangible. So this is really difficult stuff, Tony. This isn't tangible. There's no freaking pot of gold at the end. You know what it is? It's your ability to get into the driver's seat for the first time in 20 some years and actually be able to watch. Did you listen to the chocolate factory example?
I did.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
The chocolate factory is, dude, you were mixing chocolate for the first 3 years. You told yourself, I can't mix chocolate anymore. I'm going to start my own business. Now you became responsible to not only mix the chocolate, but to put it in the mold and to package the chocolate. Okay. But you also had to sell it. You found someone to mix it. You found someone to mold it. You found someone to package it. You're still selling all the chocolate bars. You're like, hey, I have chocolate bars. I have chocolate bars. I have chocolate bars, and you're spending all that time. Meanwhile, your mixer standards are starting to drop because no one's checking in on them. The molder isn't really molding perfectly, and he could be doing better. And, your folder, the person creasing the chocolate bars, maybe they're not doing a good job. And you're too busy selling. Where you need to be is you need to be watching everybody take that process from mix.
I have a million things that I want to implement, but I'm too busy on sales calls.
No way. Too busy on sales calls, too busy. Hey, if a customer wants to tell you their colors, who are they calling?
Well, they usually either send an email or, send it through Drip Jobs.
Those micro things add up at a $2 million business. It's not just an email. It's like, hey, who has the email? Okay, where is the email? Then I got to find the email. Then I got to put the freaking colors in here. I got to organize them. I got to make sure they're right. I got to verify them. I got to get them to the crew. I mean, this is, dude, you have built something great, but brother, you are in the red zone and you've been operating in like fight or flight
every day.
That's why you feel like you got to run a mile every day.
Yeah, every day.
I mean, honestly, you probably feel this pressure every morning. So I got to put on the armor here because it's coming.
It is. You're putting on your armor.
That's
you're going to battle every day.
How many kids you got?
2.
You probably want to be here a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Stress is real, man. Stress makes the intangible things we're talking about tangible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's time. It's time, dude. If you need to put on, I'm gonna create an accountability check for you. You need to send me 2 screenshots. One's gonna be the ad for the salesperson. One's gonna be the ad for the office admin. Today, no excuses. It needs to be out today.
Yeah.
You up for the challenge?
It's still early enough. Yeah.
What time is it? What do you mean? You can put on an ad all the way up until 12 a.m. They don't shut off. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about taking the action.
It's
It's about
doable.
sitting down. Trust me, man.
Yeah.
This is vital. This isn't, I mean, you built something great, but guess what? You have to reinforce it now. You built
Yeah.
something awesome. It's like, whoa, this is big, but you have no reinforcements, man. I don't know how much longer you can operate like this.
Yeah.
And
I don't know either.
I don't either. I'm worried for you, man. I
Yeah.
really
No,
am.
I'm worried for myself sometimes.
Come on. But I want you to
Yeah.
win. You know, this comes from an honest place.
No, I know. I know you care.
I do care. I do care.
I
I
know.
think you're a couple decisions away from, like, you ever see that analogy where the guy's like pickaxing really close to the goal? Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that
Mhm.
picture? Right?
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
Like, and that gold, like a couple swings away, is actually feeling like, man, I did it.
Yeah.
And not waking up every morning to 4 text messages and emails and running out the door to hit your 8 a.m. estimate and then having to stop at the job because the customer is acting crazy and your project manager can't handle it.
Yeah. I feel like I have to do everything, or not that it doesn't get done, but it's not going to get done the way I want it done.
Well, you know what? If you had the time, these things over time, because of iterating and coaching and leading and teaching, will eventually get to a point where your phone doesn't ring, dude.
Yeah.
I've got 4 jobs going on. No one's called me at all today
Yeah.
because I just have made myself, number one, like, I've honestly made myself not valuable, and that's a great thing. Like, I don't know. Like, ask Julio, ask Amber. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a serious emotional detachment that I've had to have with my business.
Do you ever feel like your customers want you?
No,
They want Tanner. They don't want Julio.
no, that's an illusion. It's because
Yeah.
you're there. It's because you've made yourself so important. At least you think that you're important when you're doing the estimate. Like, you pride yourself on being the owner. Don't
I
get me
also feel
wrong.
like I'm ducking the customer, like it was like a bait and switch. Like, I sold the job and you're never going to see or hear from me again.
Oh,
Now, they
100%.
think
That's
they're hearing from
obviously
me
going to
from
happen.
drip jobs, because they get these automated
Sure.
messages. And I had a customer once go, I got all these messages. That wasn't you. And no, not one of those messages was directly from me. They
Right.
thought they were directly coming from me. But I feel like they want to hear from me. They want to see. I feel like I'm abandoning them after I sell the job and I wipe my hands of it.
Yeah, well, that's honorable. If you didn't feel that way, that means that, you really don't care. And that I have no doubt that you care deeply about your customers. They gave you their trust,
Yeah.
and you want to reward them with what you don't want to sell something and not give them what they thought they were going to get. And sometimes you
Yeah.
feel like probably you want to be there, you want to hug them and say, "I told you I'd do a good job for you."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but that's honestly unrealistic at your
Yeah.
scale. It's not, you can't serve everyone. You can't be everywhere, especially
Yeah.
because you're trying to find new business every day. So that probably hasn't been happening for years. It's just a thought you may have about how much you want to be there. And maybe you want to be there. And that could be one of the things that you do once you get the estimating out of the way. Like, wow, the owner's stopping by. How about
Mm.
that? Why can't we
Yeah.
create that in your sales process, that our owner actually steps foot on every job before it's done just to say hello? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Instead of this way you can still be a part of the business, but you're not there to do anything other than shake the hand of your customer, chat with them a little bit, and build that value that I'm sure you love to do with your community.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many blessings that could just unravel, that are being prohibited by, fear of growth.
And control. I have to give away some control.
Every big decision comes with loss. It's whether you're going to lose something. There's no risk you get. There's no reward you get without risking something. Yeah, you're going to lose some control. You might lose quality. You're going to probably lose some money. I mean, that's how you level up, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like, accountability wise, I would say this: my challenge to you is to get both of those ads out today. Sit down, spend the time on Indeed, whip them up with Chat GPT. But there's someone right now in your local area that wants an opportunity, and they just need the right place to sow their seed, man. And
Yeah.
you never know. It could be the greatest decision you ever make. Or it could be something you procrastinate on and live this cycle once more. And generally speaking, the way I've experienced things is when I know it's time to do something, if I go through that cycle again, knowing that I could have probably stopped it, it's going to be much more intense.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you think, man?
I love it.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
No,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you taking time to talk to me, and I appreciate you building Drip Jobs because it really changed the way I do business.
You were a
It's
hard sell, man. I'll be honest.
yeah, you remember.
I sold it
You
to you.
Yeah, I know you did. And I really I really care about you because and you don't know me, right? We've spoken a couple of times, but you weren't really doing sales anymore at the time. It was just when you had gotten out of doing the demos. And I said,
Yep.
no, I want to talk to Tanner. I want Tanner to do my demo. And you did it. And it took a couple of Facebook messages back and forth. You hopped on a phone call once while you were, had just dropped off your kids at school. And it really was the best decision that I made was I had a CRM. I was using Go High Level and something else, and they didn't
You were using
integrate.
that invoice app. I remember.
Invoice to go and
Yeah.
this I had to put the information in both of them, and it was working. I did that for a couple of years, but once I did this, and I mean I have Drip Jobs running like it is on
Yeah.
autopilot.
It's
And
awesome, man. You need it. It's one of those things that I filled a need that is
yeah,
undeniable.
and
It's
it keeps getting better. And that's the thing I love about Drip Jobs. You just keep improving it and adding stuff to it, and it's like, wow, can it get any better? I can
it
only
can.
imagine in 2-3 years from now,
Oh
you
man,
might do the painting for us. I don't know, but
it might. I
it just
like
keeps
man.
evolving
Listen,
and getting better.
that'd be great. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Man, I'm actually to a point where we're building a whole new version of it.
Wow.
Version 2. Yeah, we need to. And it'll never stop. I just have
Yeah.
such a desire to create the best product. It's not in my eyes. It needs a lot of work. There's some things that my own personal standard
Yeah.
is it needs to be better. It needs to be faster. It needs to be more efficient. And the
Yeah.
only way we could have achieved that is if I literally told my team we have to do this again. We have to start from zero. And we're currently in production
Wow.
right now. So
The when
yeah,
I describe Drip Jobs to other tradespeople, I say it was built by a painter for painters, and it was
it
built out of
was.
necessity. And you're using it, so you hit roadblocks, and you're like, "Oh, we got to change that," and you go to your team and fix it. So
Yep.
that's why it keeps improving because you're a painter. You peel
I'm
it
using
back.
it on my customers every
Yeah,
single day.
yeah, you're a
Every
painter, and
single
you
day.
see the roadblocks, and
Yep.
no, but I think overall it's phenomenal. It really is. I'm
Thank
not
you,
going to
man.
tell you that I pay more for it, but it's worth more than
Yeah.
147 a month. It is.
Yeah.
It's so
Well, isn't that how we
darn
wanna
cheap.
sell ev isn't that how we want our customers to feel about any of our services that we sell is
Yeah.
that we wanna hear just that. We wanna hear that they feel as though the amount they're paying is less than the value that they're
Oh,
getting.
the value.
Um,
I mean, I
yeah.
can't tell you how many people love the communication, and they specifically talk. I gave you the job because we love that how you communicate.
Right.
And I say that's not me. That's Drip Jobs. I'm thinking in my head that has nothing to do with me. If it was me, I don't want to communicate. It's all
Yeah,
Drip
yeah, yeah.
Jobs. And then I'll get like
Yeah.
2 or 3 people a year to go, oh, it's too much communication. So I'm not going to change the way the 98% of the people love it. I'm not changing it for the 2% who say it's too much.
No. No, don't.
So
Most people
yeah,
are usually following up with their contractor, and trip
yeah,
out, they're
yeah,
trying to, so it is, man. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate
yeah.
that
No, it's a
endorsement. You've
great
always
product, and I'm
supported
so
me,
glad
man.
that I stumbled across it and I built a friendship with you, and your team is great. Um, that's for sure. They're nothing. They're so knowledgeable and they are so patient. I don't really talk to the help chat anymore because I pretty much know the ins and outs of everything. But
Yep.
at first, they were so patient and, you know, spend as much time as you need with you. Jeremy's amazing. They're all great.
I love it, man. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm
Yeah.
going to share all this
Yep.
with the team.
Yeah.
You know that. Well, Tony, my friend, thank you, man. And
Yeah. We'll
hey,
meet one day.
if you
I'll
want
get
to
to one of these. I'll get to one of
yeah,
these
you got to get to the
PCA.
PCA event, man.
Yeah.
You have to come, man. I hope you make
Yeah.
it. It's in Orlando
Yeah.
this year. So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I want to meet
so
all you guys. Yeah.
right on.
Yep.
Well, listen, man, thank you again. And
Yeah.
if you want to come back, we'll make that happen in
All
maybe a
right.
couple months. You let me know
Yeah.
how
I'll
your new
give you an update.
salesperson's doing.
I'll have my